What's happening, Still a Nation? Welcome to the latest episode, man, of the Knee Jerk Reaction Show. In case you are new to this is where I just give my knee-jerk reaction to the Steelers game, whoever they're playing. In this case, is Week 6. Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Las Vegas Raiders. I mean, they say it's a away game, but I can't tell. I couldn't tell. Could not tell it was an away game. And that's how the Pittsburgh Steelers get it done. But anyway, man, let's get to it. We'll say hello to a few of the early commenters, and then we're going to dive right into it, man. While I give my recap to the game, you guys know my routine is that I talk about the first offensive series, the first defensive series, and then from there, I just kind of give you my thoughts as I notated them as I watched the game, key moments, penalties that I captured, some I may have missed, injuries that I captured, some I may have missed, office visits, and then we just give a general recap of what's going on. So let's say what's up, man, to the master of music, Mark Cunningham. What's going on, Mark? Lanisha, hello, the lovely Lanisha in the building. Guys, fellas, make sure y'all take care of our wonderful ladies of Still a Nation, man. Say hello to them, lay out that red carpet. Who else we got up in here, man? Rajon 39, CT Pittman, Malvo. Who else is up in here? Who else we got? James Tresvant. Susie, hello, Susie. Hey, Susie, how you doing? Our lovely lady of Still a Nation as well. Our young lady. Always a good time to hear and see Susie. So hello, Susie. Who else we got? Keith Van Nelson is in the building. Hello, Sade. What up, Sade? Again, man. Another one of our lovely ladies is Still a Nation. Fellas, make sure y'all say hello. Be kind. Antoine Hill, Dark Realms, Wave Dave, Jaywalk, Damani Hustle, James Webb, Joshua Shields, Eric McDuffie, Made Pro Salt Lake City. Okay, quite a name there. He says Justin is the man. We're going to get into all of that. All right, guys, so let's get to it, man. Let's get to it. Hold on, guys. One thing I did forget to do, silly me, I forgot to share this link with a few special people. So let me do that real fast, and I promise, man, we'll get right to it. I promise. Don't want to hold you guys and gals. Forgot all about it, man. So let me do it real quick. All right, I got one more to go. Hold on, guys. Here we go. Nope, not this one. There we go. All right, let's do it. So the first thing we'll talk about, man, the Steelers possessed the football first. And we'll talk about that really quick. Let me pull up my notations here. All right, so Pittsburgh Steelers. They possessed the football. First offensive drive on first down. The Steelers passed the football. Round of applause for that. Thank you for starting the game off script, if you will. We need to do more of that. They passed the ball, check down to Najee Harris for 12 yards. Right after that, you hand the ball off to Najee Harris. He gets 13 yards on second down. I said 13 yards on a second down. Okay, I must have miswrote that. But either way, I know we did pass on first down, and then we also ran the ball for 13 yards following that. McCormick with a good block on that particular play. We got a gain of 1 by Najee Harris on the very next play. There was a bobbled catch, on that toss play. And then pass to Freiermuth on 2nd and 9 for a gain of 8. Brought up a 3rd and 1. We ran a little option run, and we pitched it to Jaylen Warren. Good to see the option. Again, utilizing Justin Fields, utilizing his skill set and his legs. It was good to see that. We pitched it off to Jaylen Warren, and Jaylen Warren is just able to get the first down with a 2-yard gain. We lost 2 yards on the next play. It was a screen attempt to Warren. We lost 3 yards on the next play. Brought up a 3rd and 15. Justin Fields checked it down to Jaylen Warren for a gain of about 8. And unfortunately, that's all we could do. But we did settle for a field goal from Chris Boswell from 52 yards out. And at that point, the Steelers were up 3-0. And I wrote here, that was a good drive for the most part. It was a good drive for the most part, but, we had some negative plays there, and we couldn't convert into a touchdown. Now, skipping over to the first defensive series. Didn't basically write that out. I didn't notate that play for play, but I just wrote here, the Raiders were able to move the ball with ease. They went right down the field, and they scored. And they never were put into a 3rd down situation. So at that point, I'm like, okay, come on, defense. Come on, defense. I believe in you guys. But I wasn't feeling good at that point. For us to get going, and my goal, is always, I always say what my goal is for the team, and I'm sure as well as you guys, get off to a fast start, play with a lead. We need to have some opening drives where we can score because we don't do it that often, and you wish for that. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. We did score 3, but I was like, okay, 3 is cool. But then you turn around and let the opponent go right down with ease and score a touchdown. So I wasn't sitting well with me at that moment. 7-3, Raiders. Now, from that point on, I'm going to talk about a few key moments, man. Steelers went 3 and out on their second drive. Right after that, the Raiders scored. So y'all already know that. Steelers defense comes back with their own 3 and out. And I think I must have mixed something up there. Yeah, I mixed something up there. So I wrote that out of order. We know the Raiders scored on their first possession. So what I meant to write there was the Steelers went 3 and out on their second drive, but then the defense awarded us by pitching a 3 and out against the Raiders. So that was a pivotal moment because, again, Raiders going right down on their first series and scoring, and then we come back and go 3 and out. That's an opportunity for the Raiders to go down and get some points. The defense stepped up. They got a 3 and out, so I thought that was a key pivotal moment right there where you didn't give the Raiders a chance to extend the lead. I thought George Pickens, man, had a few drops early in that game. He even had a drop late in the game. They were clearly trying to get him a touchdown. But George Pickens had a couple drops, man. A couple drops early in that game. I think he could have come down with him. Some people might say they may have been tougher catches, and we're so accustomed to seeing him come down with these catches, and you think he should catch it. But I would say early on in that game, I think a few of those definitely were catchable balls. He didn't catch them. He didn't catch them. So that was something that I wrote down. That was a key moment for me. It's like, all right, one of them, if I remember correctly, was on a 3rd down. And I'm not going to use this time to beat up George Pickens because I see how y'all do. Some of the Steelers fans are so crazy. Y'all talk so bad about that guy, man, just because of how he acted after that last game. And again, do I want to see character stuff like that happen? No. But players show emotion. Wide receivers are divas. But don't y'all act like that this dude sucks now. Oh, and he had a couple drops today. I know what they're going to say. Oh, see, he sucks. No, he doesn't. Y'all know George Pickens typically has been sure-handed. All receivers drop the football. I mean, he turned around today and made a crazy catch. They're late in the game to maintain possession of that ball. So I'm not going to beat George Pickens up, man. To me, this wasn't no rebound and bounce back game. I'm going to just let George Pickens continue to be what he's been. He's done well for us throughout this season. Didn't have such a great game against the Cowboys. Wasn't targeted so much today, but in no way, well, he was targeted, dropped a couple today, but in no way am I going to say, oh, now he sucks. Y'all missing me with that. And I'm not going to debate or argue anybody about that. It just is what it is. All right, let's get back to it. Steelers were having a decent drive, but the drive got killed by huge penalties. Especially that drive also where we got sacked on the trick play. I would love to see what we were trying to do there. Clearly, it was some type of, flea flicker type of situation, and we were going to take a shot. But, unfortunately, we couldn't block it up. But also, penalties killed that drive as well. And I'll talk about that in a moment. Later on in the game, man, TJ Watt punches the ball out right before the end of the first half. following the drive where Fields gets bailed out with a roughing the passer. Y'all remember that? He threw a pick. That was an interception on 3rd and 4. He threw a pick, but he got bailed out with roughing the passer. That did not go unnoticed. I was watching. And Justin Fields had a couple balls today as well that, that he missed early on in the game. We'll talk about it. But not sure what he was looking at on that particular play. There was a great play call on the 4th and 1 by Arthur Smith, in which that's when Justin Fields was able to score the touchdown. And I would say this, that wasn't conservative. Wasn't conservative. I know we all have said we've been too conservative. I got to give him credit right there for not being conservative and going for it on that 4th and 1. And I like what Tomlin said, right? As they interviewed him before he went into the locker room, he said, listen, we're not going to play not to lose. We're not going to live in our fears. Okay. This is a game and a situation where I might have to hold him at his word, because that was a nice, gutsy play. Fortunately, the Steelers, they weren't able to convert the 2-point conversion, so at that point it was 12-7. Moving on, another key moment. Steelers block a punt on the Raiders' first drive starting the second half. Right after that, the Steelers lose yards on a backwards pass on a 2nd and goal, where Fields, threw it to Jaylen Warren a bit high. And luckily, Jaylen Warren, again, always Johnny on the spot, he recovers it. Then Freiermuth catches a touchdown, but unfortunately, Justin Fields was beyond the line of scrimmage, so the Steelers then had to settle for a field goal, 15-7. Again, guys, what I'm recapping here is my notation as I'm watching the game. These are key moments, because at that moment, the Steelers could have gone up by another touchdown versus just settling for 3, right? They could have gone up 19-7 as opposed to 15-7. That was a key moment. Here's another key moment. Dante Jackson gets a pick. And then Fields ends the drive with another touchdown run. Again, I thought that was a great play call by Arthur Smith. When you look at the direction, how they blocked, Freiermuth down, and they brought Siamalu, and I forget who else was pulling on that situation. But, Justin Fields basically had a convoy into the end zone. Excellent call. Outstanding play, man. And that's what I had right there. And then other than that, man, the other key moment to me was that pretty much was it. Of course, the TJ Watt fumbles. I didn't put both of them down, but TJ Watt, that was another pivotal moment. I think that was the 3rd or the 4th quarter, where the Raiders are in position to score. I think it was in the 4th. They're on like the half-yard line, and TJ Watt is able to punch the ball out. Deshaun Elliott recovers it, and again, what an excellent play by TJ Watt, man. Again, being a dog each and every week, but that was a huge pivotal moment as well, because had they scored right there, I still feel like the Steelers would have won the game, but it would have given them more time to work to potentially make a comeback. So that was huge and significant right there, man. I don't want to miss that. But all right, hold on, guys. Let me do a round of applause, man. I got a donation here. Got some Wonder Bread from C.T. Pittman. Appreciate you. About to change my hat, too. Hold on, y'all. I don't know. Something about that hat, man. Out of all of the hats that I have, something about that hat, I feel like it shrunk or something. Doesn't fit the same. But yeah, he says Wonder Bread for the win. Appreciate that, CT Pittman. I really do. All right, so let's continue on, guys. What else do I have? I want to talk about a couple things here as some sidebars. Penalties. The Steelers offense has to fix these penalties. False start by Connor Haywood to start the second drive. Broderick Jones with a holding to start the second quarter. Holding by Darnell Johnson in the second quarter. Darnell Washington in the second quarter as well. Negated a first down. Holding by Isaac Siamalu. Same drive as Darnell Washington. Delay a game. Same drive. Completely killed that particular drive. Like, we got to stop shooting ourselves in the foot. And I know what people always want to say. People always want to put that on coaching. Guys, I do not put that on coaching. You are an individual. The reason why I don't put that on coaching, because I don't think there's a coach in the world that doesn't teach to not have penalties. Penalties by a player is an individual achievement. I will never blame any coach or any coordinator for a player committing a penalty. It's just like when I played ball. Anything that I did, penalty-wise or assignment-wise, I decided to do something on my own, and my coach told me not to do that, that was on me. That wasn't on the coach. Now, I know some of us are on different sides of the fence with that, but that's just where I am at it. That's where I'm at with it. Like, if you want to blame that on coaching, more power to you. That ain't coaching. That's an individual thing. We hear all the time that the Steelers bring in referees in practice, in training camp. So how is it a coaching thing? It's a mental thing by the player. Mental mistake. Because you have other players on the team that don't make penalties, right? They don't commit penalties. That's all I'm saying. But we got to do something about those penalties, man, because the penalties definitely killed a couple of the drives in this particular game. Now, real quick, before I get further into my takeaways from this game and a couple more recaps, I got a couple office visits. I got 2 office visits. The first office, look. He's standing at the door before I can even tell him. Hold on, I'll be with you in a moment. Really quick, we got some Wonder Bread to give applause to. My man Y Diggy, as well as Maestro Fresh. Appreciate you both for the Wonder Bread. Aha. Y Diggy, you in my head. Stay tuned. You in my head. And shout outs to Maestro Fresh West for the donation. Let's get to these office visits. Broderick Jones, come on in here, brother. Come on in here. Broderick Jones, I just have a simple question for you. First of all, you got to stop holding. You did it quite a few times in this game, and they missed some of those calls. It kind of reminds me of how they don't call everything against T.J. Watt. Yeah, Max Crosby had a point a couple times in that game that they didn't call, but they did get you for a holding. But that's not the reason why I have you in here. It's not the reason why I have you in here for the office visit. What were you doing on that play early on in the game? What were you doing? What were you doing? I suppose you don't remember. It was that play where Justin Fields had to scramble. Got the first down, but you were the only one, sir, that didn't appear to know what the play was. You went to go block downfield. Everybody else is in pass pro. And you literally doing like this. Broderick Jones, what's going on, bro? What's happening? I want to root for you. I really do. I don't know. I'm not ready to throw you away yet. You've been doing decent in pass pro, but I didn't talk about this, but in last week's game, you're not doing that great in the run game. That's a concern after I watched the All-22. I'm going to watch this one as well, but that is a concern I have with you, Broderick Jones, is you're not that great in run blocking. And pass pro is a little suspect here and there too. I'm going to talk about that later on, but I had to bring you into this office and call you out for looking like you was looking for Waldo. You were lost in the sauce. All right, get on out of here, man. Next up, Coach Mike T. My man. My VA brethren. Got to call you into the office, Coach. Come on in here real quick. Let me get a sip of water. Coach T. I feel like I've had this conversation before, and I feel like this conversation is going to continue. Even though I'm a big fan, even though I think you are a great coach, I'm going to stand on that ledge. I think you're a great coach. I think you've been a great coach for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I would like your playoff record to be a little better. A little better. It's time for us to win again. Cannot not acknowledge that. But I think you've been a great coach for the Pittsburgh Steelers. However, there are two areas in your tenure that I continue to talk about, and I don't think it's going to change. One would be your utilization or non-utilization of challenges. Number two showed up today. Your utilization or non-utilization of timeouts. Can I ask you, Coach, why is it that, and I actually have it listed here. Let me find my exact time. We had a delay of game early in the game, right? You want to put that on coaching? Cool. Sometimes you put it on the quarterback. Hey, if it's early in the game, I'm not making as much of a fuss unless it's a weighty down. But late in the game, even though we had the lead, Coach Tomlin, it was 9 minutes and 28 seconds left in the fourth quarter. It was 3rd and 2. At this point, we're trying to milk the clock. Can I ask you, Mr. Tomlin, why did you not call a timeout on that delay of game? I got to put that square on you. And everybody else on the staff. Nobody looking at the clock. Just all of us, millions of Steelers fans. We looking at the clock as it's showing us on TV. But y'all have a bigger view. In any stadium, you have a bigger view of the clock. Many times it's right there, eye level. Right there behind the end zone. A lot of times there's the clock there for people to see. Quarterbacks and such. Why did we not call the time? And this is what I'm saying, Coach. I don't understand what the issue is with you at the helm. Utilization or non-utilization of timeouts and challenges. We have been horrible with that. And I'm a big fan, bruh. I'm a huge fan of yours. But I just don't understand why that continues to be a bugaboo. Yeah, we won this game. But again, I am one of those people that I'm going to give you criticism. I'm going to give you criticism. You're going to get criticism even when we win. That's all I got for you for today, Coach. Because I am going to give you some credit a little bit later. But my God, I don't get it. And speaking to you guys in the chat, I don't understand it, man. I really don't. But like I said, I still like Coach Tomlin very, very much. I appreciate Coach Tomlin very much. I think he is a great coach. Yes, I do. Every single football coach has warts. We know his warts. But I think Mike Tomlin has been a great leader of men for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And Mike Tomlin also, excuse me, keeps the boys in the game, man. He never loses the locker room. And here's the question I have for y'all in the chat. Because a lot of y'all want to blame everything on Mike Tomlin, right? Everything. I want y'all to be fair across the board. Many times when the Steelers lose a game, you know what we say? Oh, Mike Tomlin didn't have them ready to play. Can I ask y'all a question? Did he have them ready to play today? Because we never say that when they win a game. It's only when they lose. And y'all know my motto. I think that statement is false. I don't believe in coaches didn't have them ready to play. I know many of y'all say that. Many people use that. I don't. I do not think any NFL coach, any, approaches a week and say, okay, we're not going to prepare as hard today. I don't believe that. That's just my personal opinion. So it always cracks me up when people use that. But I notice with the Steelers, we only use that when they lose. I never hear anybody say, man, Tomlin kept that team together. Man, Tomlin brought them to Las Vegas and got the dub. Y'all never say that. All I'm saying is we should be unbiased. We really should. Give criticism when it's warranted. Give praise when it's warranted. That's how I try to do it. But there you go. So let's move on, guys. Here's a couple takeaways I got from this game as well. Offensively, man, just way too many penalties. We got to do better than that. And I think really what held us back in this game offensively early is just lack of execution. The more I watch this game, I cannot wait to watch it again, but more so the All-22, which the All-22 comes out a little earlier now. I'm happy about that. There were some plays that we just didn't execute, man. And that includes the offensive line. That includes Justin Fields missing a few throws early in the game. You got to acknowledge that. I still think, and I'm gonna get into it. I still think Justin Fields is the best option. I'm gonna tell y'all why in just a second. Defensively, man, I think the Steelers got punched in the mouth early. First opening drive, but then they buckled down. They buckled down and they played lights out the rest of the game. As I was speaking to my wife, man, I had, she came down into the basement and watched the remaining of the game with me with about 8 minutes or so left in the game. And, she was like, why they just allowing them to go down the field now? Why they don't do what they've been doing? I said, I like that. I like where your head's at, baby. But I said, look, what's happening, they just playing soft coverage right now. They are allowing the Raiders to go on down the field and just milk the clock. They got a comfortable lead. I said, it's a chess match in that regard. I hate when that happens because I just hate the way it looks. But I've long understood that, for many years now from watching football where, you got a sizable lead. The object is to just play soft, let them, get anything in the middle of the field. You might give up a touchdown, but you eat the clock. I get it. But outside of that, the boys played an excellent game, man. I felt like we got pressure. I think TJ got pressure. I got to really go back and look and see if anybody else on the edge got pressure. I did see Loudermilk got pressure on a play or two. Got to go back and see. I don't really recall Moon really getting a lot of pressure. Cam Hayward getting pressure. And guys, did y'all see that? Did y'all see what happened? And correct me if I'm wrong for you guys in the chat. Excuse me. On that sack that Cam Hayward got. Was Cam Hayward lined up in the middle of the field? Did y'all see that? Was he lined up as like a inside linebacker? He wasn't on the line. I'm going to wait and see what y'all say. Do y'all remember when Cam got that sack? Cam Hayward he was lined up off the line. Am I bugging? Y'all tell me if y'all saw that. And I thought that was an interesting little wrinkle right there that Terrell Austin threw. I can't wait to see it again. But I swear Cam didn't get that sack off the line. Cam was blitzing. Did y'all remember seeing that? I don't know. I don't see nobody answering, but that was crazy. Lanisha said you were right. Yeah, that was crazy. Listen, man, again, I get on Terrell Austin. I get on Mike Tomlin sometimes by being vanilla with defense, but that particular play right there was crazy. That was crazy. That was dope. That was a nice little wrinkle, so I can't wait to go back and watch it. And I know Kenyon saw it. I can't wait to go back and watch it and see what exactly we did, but that was smooth. Because it was crazy to see Cam blitzing and getting right through there. And I'm like, wait a minute, that's Cam Hayward. But yeah, that was crazy. Some of y'all said y'all didn't notice it. Yeah, I see crazy things when I watch a game, man, because I'm kind of watching it from a coach's standpoint. You know what I'm saying? And I also kind of watch it from somebody who's played football. I'm always watching it like that. But that was crazy. But anyway, that was dope. It was dope to see that. Couple more takeaways that I got from the game here, man. And again, this is just the way I kind of notated the game early towards the end. Early on, I said TJ punching the ball out late in the second quarter. That was huge. Steelers opened the game with a nice mix of play calling on the first drive. I think we did. We only came away with 3 points, but listen, this is exactly what I talked about in the before play video. I said I wanted the Steelers to open the playbook up a little more. Of course, you run the football and try to get yeah. Moon. Oh, I'm gonna give Moon his credit. Round of applause to the master of music. Yeah. Definitely gonna give him his credit, and I'll give it his credit right now. Thank you for the donation. Yeah, I definitely notated that. Moon got that block punt. That was significant because I think I talked about that as a key moment. But yeah, great job. And when I said I didn't really notice him as far as pass rush, I'm talking specifically about pass rush. I have to watch the game again because I don't recall whether or not he got pressure or not. So I got to go back and watch the game. But I will say this, it didn't feel like we lacked anything, right? It didn't feel like we got overpowered. It's, didn't feel too bad, man, without having Herbig and Highsmith out there. We could always use them, but I'm saying I didn't feel from first glance that there was moments that I would recognize, like, oh, man, what is Moon doing? Round of applause to Will I Am, man. Appreciate the Wonder Bread. Some reason, there you go. It wasn't working. Okay. He says, how far can Fields take us? Do you think the OC is still playing it safe? I feel there's so much we leave out there. That's a good question, man. It's the reason why I say that's a great question is because some people don't believe in Fields. Many of you in this chat don't. So to say he's not opening up and we feel like there's more that we can do, you might feel that. I'm just saying it's funny because there's other people that will disagree with that. I felt like they did open it up a little more today, in my opinion. I still would like to see a little more mix of 11 personnel. I think we still get predictable at times, but I don't think it hurt us today. I think there were times that we got on schedule. There were a lot of times that Justin Fields utilized his legs. And see, that's a great area to say, I can't really say that they're holding him back more. It might be more so that they are utilizing his strengths, right? But I do think, let me answer your question. The way we're utilizing Justin Fields, the way I believe Justin Fields will be able to make plays in the passing game, a little bit off at times today with the accuracy, but we've seen other games this season where he was accurate. I think the Steelers can win with Justin Fields. If the defense continues to be solid, they don't have to be great. I think we can definitely win with Justin Fields. He does still need a little more refinement, but I think we definitely can win with him. How far? Could we possibly win a playoff game? Maybe. It's just going to depend on whether or not we're producing points, right? I think it's possible. I do, because I think there is more meat on the bone for Justin Fields. And I think he's starting to get into his groove, especially where he's really becoming a threat with his legs. I don't know how far, but I think it's possible. I think the Steelers could mess around and get into the playoffs, maybe win it, because you got to remember, late in the season, around that time, the run game is what matters. So if we can get our run game to be consistent, and that's where I will give a little error to Arthur Smith. I still feel like there's too many times that we just run right into a packed box. We got to stop doing that, man, like from the single back. Like one of those times early in the game, man, I saw that the Raiders blitzed and they met Najee 4 yards in the backfield. It's like everybody knew it was going to be a run. So we got to get away from doing that so much. Round of applause to Walter Worthy for the Wonder Bread. Appreciate it. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Definitely agree. He says, well, I'm not a detractor, but he says, as a Najee detractor, I have to give him credit where credit is due. He put them big boy pants on today, and he played bully ball. Yes, he did. I have him notated as well as somebody I will be recognizing. By now, sorry, y'all, got to move this little footstool. By now, some of you guys know I give my credit to certain players on Tuesdays in a special segment, but I have him written down. But I will talk about it really quick. Najee Harris, man, his overall approach ran hard today. Like, he ran hard today. And what about Najee showing a little shiftiness? What was that, a 20-some yard run? Najee ran his butt off, man. And what about on that toss that he scored on? Just fighting through tackles, setting up the block with Fryermuth. Shout outs to Fryermuth for the block. And then him diving for the touchdown. Najee played ball today. Gotta give Najee a round of applause, man. Absolutely. And I'm going to fully agree with, who said it right here? Mark Cunningham. He says they did. I think he's talking about opening up the playbook, but Fields missed a few completions high. He did. So Fields is going to have to work on that. He missed a couple throws today. But like I said, I'm not concerned. See, I know people who hate Justin Fields. Oh, there he is. Same old Fields. I don't think that. We've seen plays from Fields this season where he put the ball right where it needed to be. If he continues to work on his accuracy, guys, I'm telling you, I think this offense could be really scary as far as you don't know how to defend us. If we get it to a point where Fields is consistently making plays with legs and with arm, it's interesting. I'm going to talk about it here in a moment, man. Couple other takeaways I had. I said Fields was a bit off early in the game. I wanted to recognize, I wrote here, Patrick Queen is starting to make routine plays. Maybe not splash plays, but I saw quite a few plays where Patrick Queen was in on it, whether it was a tackle or a sideline-to-sideline situation. Finally, Patrick Queen is starting to get to a point where I can say, okay, he's doing the routine things. And I hope from that, maybe splash will come. But he's starting to do the routine things that we need from our inside backer. Showing that speed sideline to sideline. I appreciate that. I already talked about Najee. I already talked about Tomlin and the timeout. I talked about Cam Hayward. And let me talk about the last point. And then I'll get to the comments. I wrote here, we may not see Russell Wilson. Oh, Master of Music. There's another donation. I'm sorry, I missed it. Round of applause. I appreciate it. He says, Mr. Washington gets 20 yards just falling forward. Yeah, man. Mount Washington. So, yeah, I'd like to see us utilize Darnell Washington a little more as well. I think he could be a threat, just sheer size, like he said, Mount Washington. But thank you for the donation. All right, so let's talk about Russell Wilson really quick and Justin Fields. I hope y'all follow where I'm going. Speaking of Mike Tomlin, I was just telling my wife this a little while ago. I think this is the week that you can no longer utilize the Russell Wilson being hurt situation. Hold on. Got to interrupt myself. We got more Wonder Bread. The last king of Scotland. Appreciate the donation, brother. Last king of Scotland doing what he does well. And I told you, I'm not here to debate people's opinions, but I respect it and I'll read it. He says, Justin Fields is 0 for 22 when the opponent scores 20 plus. This offense, he says, this offense will beat a contending team. I think you meant to say will not. I'm just guessing. That's what you meant to say, right? Will not beat a contending team. He says, slow your roll. The guy does not throw it well enough. That's fine. I told y'all, I'm not going to challenge opinions. I'm not. I'm not going to challenge opinions. I respect it. Rajon 39, appreciate that Wonder Bread. Rajan says, I think Russ will be a Raider. Interesting. A little player for player situation there. Devontae Adams. Russ and maybe something else. Perhaps. But, you know, the Raiders are definitely in on somebody else who's not in the NFL. I'm pretty sure Mr. Sanders made look, Kenyon just said the same thing. Mr. Sanders kind of made a joke about that when he was on the Nightcap show. But we'll see how that goes. But also, I just want to say this. I just want to make a quick comment to what Last King of Scotland said. Here's the thing. I just don't understand. I don't understand how Steeler fans, I said this last week, why do y'all beat up players that are on the team so bad? I don't understand that mentality. Justin Fields has a pass. Didn't do great at Chicago for various reasons. I don't think talent alone was one of them. But why is it now that he's quarterbacking the team you root for? Why is it that all you want to do is beat him down? I don't understand that. I just don't get that mentality from some of you guys in Steeler Nation. Like, that's cool. That little statistic is cool. He's 0 for 22, but so what? Who cares? It's almost like, let's see what he does as a Steeler. If he doesn't play well, if we're not getting the best production, I expect the coaching staff to put the next man in. It's that simple. I just don't understand the infatuation that some of you all have in Steeler Nation, where all y'all want to do is beat down this player, beat down this coach, beat down the head coach. I don't understand it. You can have an opinion, but how does it feel good to feel that way about players and coaches of the team you root for every week? That's kind of crazy to me. But whatever, I'll let it go. Let's get back to what I was saying, guys. Then I'm going to come to the chat for a few minutes, and then we'll wrap this thing up. I think it's going to be hard for Russell Wilson to see the field. It's not that Justin Fields is playing lights out. But once again, Justin Fields hasn't lost a game for the Steelers. We haven't lost a game because of something he did. That's number one. I did see that interception today that he got bailed out. I acknowledge that. But what I'm saying is we haven't lost a game yet because of him, right? He's had a couple of missed throws in the last couple of weeks. He's had great throws since he's been the starter. That's up and down. That happens with a lot of quarterbacks. You know, it's hold on. Last King of Scotland. Round of applause. Appreciate the Wonder Bread. Hey, Last King of Scotland. That's a fair point. But you're getting close to being in that category of the MTs, where I don't even really reply because it's pointless. He says all Steeler fans don't think like you. They're not supposed to. I'm not asking any of y'all to think like me. I just asked a question. I said, why is it that people beat up players and coaches for the team that they root for? How can that be fun? Like, how can that be enjoyable, right? You cut your TV on, you crack your beer, you drink your tequila, or you eat your snacks, whatever you do, whether it's with yourself or your kids or your wife or whoever you enjoy a game with, you go to the game. How can it be enjoyable when in your mind, all you want to do is look to beat up a said player or said coach? That's all I'm asking. I don't care. I honestly don't care what any of you think about the team. I don't. I sit here and give my opinion. I respect a lot of you guys' opinion. And I also, of course, I'm respecting people who are like-minded. Great. But I also love and respect those who oppose what I say. I like to see both sides. What you're doing and what the MTs often do is y'all have narratives. That's all I'm saying. But it's all good. It's all good. But let's carry on. Listen, Justin Fields. Our tackles are not playing well enough for Russell Wilson. Follow what I'm saying. There's quite a few times we saw Justin Fields today take off and run. It's quite a few times where he didn't have a lot of time. I don't always like quarterbacks running backwards. I don't want to see him do that often, but today he was able to escape a lot. But there was quite a few times the tackles are not protecting Justin Fields well. It often made me think, if Russell Wilson was back there, would that have been a sack? I'm just saying. I think the style of play that we're playing right now and what we're seeing from the offensive line at times and the plays that we're drawing up, Justin Fields, folks, I hate to be the bearer of bad news for some of y'all. He's gonna give us the best chance to win. There are a ton of plays that you can go back and watch this game or numerous games all 6 games this year. You look at the play and you ask yourself, would Russell Wilson have taken a sack? Now, I'll give you this. I do believe that Russell Wilson might see the field a little better in certain scenarios. I do. I think maybe Russell Wilson might make a quicker decision on some of those routes. Some. I don't think it's such a large margin, right? To where I'm being honest here. Again, I always have to say this because I know new people watch the show every week. So some of you, it's being repeated. Some of y'all, you're hearing my thoughts for the first time. I am a ginormous Russell Wilson fan. I have been for his entire career. Love Russell Wilson. The deep ball and all of that, love it. But I don't think that gap is so wide right now with the way our offense plays, where if you plug him in, it's through the roof. I don't see how that's going to happen. I don't think that Justin Fields has missed enough plays where I'm like, oh, Russell Wilson definitely does that. I just don't see it, folks. And let me be the first to say, if they put Russell Wilson in and he's balling, guess who's going to be the first one here throwing rounds of applause? Yes. I don't have an objective here. My only objective is to be objective as I watch what I see this team putting on display. I don't think plugging Russell Wilson into this offense, the way those tackles are getting beat at times, is going to allow for Russell Wilson to thrive. It also takes a lot of plays off the field. The design run, the scrambles, QB power, the option, zone read. It's all gone. It's all gone. Round of applause to Brent Fox, man. Appreciate the Wonder Bread. He says, just showing appreciation for this channel. I appreciate you, Brent. I really do, man. Thank you so much, my brother. But that's all, guys. I swear I don't have a alternative motive or anything. I don't. I'm only rooting for Justin Fields because he's playing for the team that I root for, and he has a winning record of 4-2 while he's growing. That's the thing. He's continuing to grow. I don't see anything wrong with that because I envision, right? This is what I envision for the Pittsburgh Steelers, and I'm loving it. I'm envisioning what I see from the Ravens. I think if you give Justin Fields the time, and I'm not talking about just this season, I think in due time, maybe another full season, Justin Fields could be what we're seeing from Lamar Jackson. Not a direct comparison. I'm talking about style of play, where now you got to respect, man, he might take off and run. Oh, man, they might run the option. Oh, they might run zone read. Oh, they might run QB power. Oh, man, you can't leave this dude one-on-one because he's going to put it in the right spot. Oh, he's going to take a shot down the seam. I think we could get Justin Fields playing like Lamar plays. Not a direct comparison between the two. I'm just talking about style of play. I think you could get that from a Justin Fields, and we're seeing some of that right now. That's why I'm intrigued by the Justin Fields experiment. And in my opinion, the experiment hasn't gone left. That's the thing. it hasn't gone awry. That's all I'm saying. I'm willing to let this guy, develop. But whatever, that's just one man's opinion. Round of applause to Last King of Scotland again. Congratulations, Last King of Scotland. That I will no longer respond to your comments. I'm sorry. I just can't do it. I just can't do it. Sorry. This is something that I routinely say. I don't know because I'm not in the building. And now you're going to try to use. Everything I'm saying is pure speculation. I'm sorry, brother. I'm just saying. I don't have time to entertain your comments no more. I appreciate you watching. I appreciate your donation, but I'm sorry. I got to put you on that side of the fence now. Here's another piece of speculation I'll throw out there since this is what I'm doing and since I'm not in the building. I'm going to clarify this statement by saying this is SimFBallCritic's speculation. How do y'all feel about the Steelers not putting Russell Wilson in with 2 minutes left? I'm speculating. You think Mike Tomlin made that decision so it wouldn't create a narrative? Putting a guy like Russell Wilson in for trash time right now when they haven't declared the starter. These are my thoughts. I was telling my wife and she was like, that's an interesting take. I said, yeah. I cannot guarantee this, but I see there was backup running backs and everything. Me personally, if they did that on purpose, I like that move, right? Because Tomlin keeps hanging on that, we haven't gotten to the point where we had to identify a starter. I think Tuesday he has to. Once he identifies a starter, now that Russell is healthy, then you can put in the backup quarterback. But I think I personally wouldn't have put Russell Wilson in for trash time because it's already a narrative. It's already a story. And I would have saved his dignity in that moment. I don't know if they did that for that reason, but if they did, I like that. And I will tip my hat to him or whoever made that decision if that's why they did it. I think that was classy. And I think that's how you keep your players connected to you. To me, that's players coach. Just like what Charles Davis was saying that we don't know, but it definitely seemed like they was trying to force the ball to George Pickens. I like that. Keep him engaged if that's what they were doing. Also, I've been critical about Arthur Smith, and most of y'all put it on Tomlin, being conservative. Well, how conservative was that? They actually passed the ball with a lead, a clear lead. I've been waiting for us to do that. How conservative was that 4th and 1? This is the team I've been waiting for us to not be so conservative and go for the gusto. So I appreciate that. But again, I can't answer these questions because, I'm not in the building. Of course, anything we all are saying is our own opinion, right? But yeah, I thought that was classy, man, if that's why they did that. Smart move, coach. Because had you thrown Russell Wilson in that game right there, oh boy, that would have been the lead story. That would have been the lead story. I can guarantee you that. And I can't fully guarantee, but the media. So I thought that was very smart. But Coach T, your time running out. Tuesday, you have to declare who's the starter, brother. Can't use that same excuse no more. Now the question is coming. Who's your definitive starter? And you're going to have to answer that question. So, but that's all I got for you guys, man. Listen, that was a great win. I'll sit here and read a few comments. Excellent win. Slow start. I still just didn't like the way the offense started off. Slow start. And this offense is a little sloppy, man. I will say that. It's sloppy. It is very sloppy. But I will say this, and some of y'all can see it and some of y'all won't. I think Arthur Smith is calling a good game. The more I watch the film, there are a few plays here and there I don't like. Like, again, I don't like the 2nd and 10s and we go jumbo, single back, and we run right into the teeth of the defense. I hate that. But that man is calling some plays that we don't normally see. He is starting to open that book a little bit. I think the biggest part of it now is execution. It is our execution or lack thereof when some of these plays don't work. Again, some of it is blocking. Hey, some of it is what y'all said. Justin Fields missed a few throws. But when you look at what the play was designed to do, I can't really be mad at Arthur Smith and how he's calling the games, man. So round of applause to Y Diggy as well as James Webb. Thank you, James, for the Wonder Bread. Y Diggy is asking about boxing. He knows how much I love boxing. I actually missed that fight, man. I didn't realize it came on so early. I missed it. I didn't get a chance to see it, but I did see a lot of people say they thought Bivol won. James Webb said, thoughts on using under routes and quick slants to help the O-line and Justin Fields getting rhythm. I always love that. I always would love that. I even saw they did it some with O'Connell. You know, you definitely got to make it easy. And I think they're trying to do that, but the quick passes with us is more on the outside. You know, they're doing like the swing pass and the quick out routes. So like you said, I would love to see us maybe incorporate a few more slants, stuff like that, because, you know, you're given an opportunity for catch and run as well. And it's keeping it right in front, right? You keep it right in front and you know where your outlet is at. So I definitely would like to see that if guys are playing off like we do. We give up the inside slant all the time. Round of applause to Jameer Sanders. Appreciate that. Let me tell you something. What Jameer Sanders is saying, I'm not just agreeing because he agrees with me, but it should be obvious. For any of y'all watching the game and watching football, it should be obvious that we could use Fields the way the Ravens use Lamar. No, they're not the same type of player, but they're in the same ilk. And we're doing it. How many touchdowns does Justin Fields have with his legs? I'm just saying, man. You know, I'm just saying. Dante Jackson. Round of applause to him. Y'all know I will be talking about him come Tuesday. This guy's doing his thing, man. Hey, he's doing his thing. Joy Porter Jr., you know, it's getting tougher for him now. You know, hasn't been that quote unquote shutdown guy. I don't think he's playing bad, but he's giving up a few. But that boy Jackson, man, what he got? 3 interceptions now? I got to give him his credit. You know, I was concerned about how he was gonna do. Looks pretty fine to me. And he plays physical too. I'm liking Dante Jackson, man. And again, this is coming from somebody that don't expect the defense to stop everything. I think sometimes we as fans are too critical of that too. Some of y'all calling Joy Porter a bust now. A bust? Y'all got to stop, man. Y'all got to stop. Every cornerback, Deion Sanders got beat. Okay? Y'all got to stop, man. We expect too much as fans. I don't get it sometimes. All right, I'm going to read a few more, man. What y'all got? Walter said, yes, sir, Mr. Jackson ball. Elliott played well as well. Yeah, man, I really like Deshaun Elliott. That was a great signing, man. That's a very sneaky undercover signing that some people won't give us credit for. I'm talking about fans. That was an excellent signing. And I see Terrell Edmonds out there playing a little ball too. Was a little worried though when Minka went down and they put Edmonds in the post. I was a little worried. Speaking of injuries, Minka did come back, but man, we got to keep an eye on Zach Frazier, man. I hope that is not nothing lingering. Please, please, please. Yeah. Nathan, man, that's crazy. We're in sync, guys. We're saying the same things. Yeah, I hope Frazier. I really hope that's not something for real. You know, I hope it's not bad. I really hope so because Zach Frazier has been a dog. And we've been getting what we've been needing to get from him, man. Shout outs to him. So hopefully he's okay. CT Pittman says they actually showing respect to JPJ by not really throwing in his direction. But casuals wouldn't understand that. Exactly. Highlight watchers won't catch that. Kenya says, Mark, there were 20 okay, they talking about something else. I'll let y'all have y'all side comments. Jeremy says, Fields hasn't played great, but he is literally the entire offense at times because of his scrambling ability. Every receiver clamped, he makes it happen. This is what I'm saying, Jeremy. People don't see that. You take Fields out the game, we're gonna lose a lot of significant situations. because this offense is not humming. Yeah, we put 32 up today, but it was Najee showed up. It was almost like a grind out 32 points. But yeah, man, I don't understand why people don't see that. And what I'm saying, Jeremy, again, y'all don't have to agree with me. I never try to be the smartest person in the room. I absolutely hate that. I always want to be learning. But I just feel like I don't see what changes with Russell in the game because we're not even protecting Justin well enough. A lot of these times, Justin is running for his life. So put Russell Wilson back there. He's a sitting duck. Yeah, Russ can move a little bit, but Russ can't move the way he used to. I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying. That Boogeyman said this offense is really close to exploding. I truly believe it. Clean up the drops and penalties and fields. Dial it in a little. We're gonna ball. Hey man, I'm on that same train. I see potential in this offense. And it's funny because remember in the game, Charles Davis, they showed when Tomlin was like, he was doing like that. He was talking about the first drive. I think we that close from being a real problem. Because I think we're going to be able to run the ball better as it continues. I think we're going to be able to get more out of play action. I think we're going to continue to use Justin's legs, and Justin is going to continue to grow. I just believe that. I think this offense is close, man. Saw my boy Roman Wilson out there today. Hopefully we can start getting him into the fold. I think they're close, but we'll see. We'll see. But all right, man. Bishop is a rookie. There's going to be growing pains. Yeah, I know people probably getting on Beanie Bishop. Beanie Bishop didn't play bad today. He had a couple plays. Kid is undersized too, man, but last one. James Webb says, yeah, Justin Fields has people in his face, especially with the play action game where Smith makes him turn his back. Yeah. Excuse me, guys. I had a sneeze right there. But yeah, man, I think, hopefully, I'm hoping they would clean it up. I don't know if they will or they won't, but I hope they clean it up. And if they do, I think we're going to be okay. Tiger Bay says Raiders trash. And I'll say this, I saw some Steelers people on Twitter say, oh, but it was the Raiders. Okay, but look at all the injuries we dealing with. I hate when people use that as an excuse. We dealing with injuries too on the defensive side of the ball. And they showed up. So I don't want to hear that. And here's the thing. We're supposed to beat them teams. That's the thing. You're supposed to beat the teams that you are, quote unquote, supposed to beat. It's good to finally do that. But I don't know. But all right, guys. Let's go ahead and get out of here, man. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. I didn't even expect for it to be this long, but hey, it was cool talking and chopping it up with y'all. Hope y'all have a great rest of your night, man. Get ready for tomorrow. Some of you guys are off, so congrats on that as well. Watch some Sunday Night Football. Enjoy that. Enjoy some Monday Night Football, and I'll be back to talk to you guys on Tuesday. And y'all know on Tuesday is when voila boom, right there. I'm going to ask y'all to call in, give me your thoughts and concerns. 619-924-0818. I look forward to that as always. But before I go, I'm going to ask you guys to, hey, stay safe, stay healthy. God bless. Good night. Thanks for tuning in. Like always, I appreciate y'all coming through, and I shall catch you in the next one. Peace.